The Consumer Price Index, which measures the rate of change in prices of goods and services, rose to 28.92% in December 2023, up from 28.20% in the previous month. This was disclosed by the National Bureau of Statistics in its CIP report for December released on Monday. The latest figure marks the 20th consecutive rise in the country's inflation rate in 2023. The Bureau said the December 2023 headline inflation rate showed an increase of 0.72 percentage points when compared to the November 2023 headline inflation rate. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 7.58 percentage points higher compared to the rate recorded in December 2022, which was 21.34%. It added that food inflation rate in December 2023 was 33.93% on a year-on-year basis, which was 10.18 percentage points higher compared to the rates recorded in December 2022, that is 23.75%. It said the rise in food inflation on a year-on-year basis was caused by increases in prices of bread and cereals, oil and fat, potatoes, yam and other tubers, fish, meat, fruit, milk, cheese, and eggs. And meanwhile, the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Idahosa, said the year-end inflation rate agreed with the chamber's earlier prediction, particularly considering the economic review implemented by the federal government. Idahosa said all the figures they are seeing this year are many years high in Nigeria, adding that any inflation above 9% in Nigeria is not as good or is not good, as the country should be targeting inflation of 6 to 9%. He stated that businesses have continued to grapple with inflation figures reflective of economic conditions that have not been witnessed in the country in a long time. On his part, the chairman of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, Niyi Yusuf, blamed the current inflation to printing of the currency through ways and means without corresponding increase in productivity. He also blamed the current inflation rate on the removal of fuel subsidy, forex rate harmonization, and depreciation of the naira, insecurity that impaired farming and production, and poor transportation logistics. And the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, said Nigeria needs at least $100 billion in investments to achieve Nigeria Agenda 2050, with over 80% expected from the private sector. The minister disclosed this while speaking on the 2024 budget at the KPNG Budget Day program on Sunday. He underscored the critical role of private capital in propelling Africa's largest economy to grow at a faster rate than in the past 15 years. The Agenda 2050, launched by former President Muhammadu Buhari before leaving office, envisions Nigeria achieving a per capita GDP of $33,328 per annum, positioning it among the world's top middle-income economies by 2050. Bagudu stressed the imperative of mobilizing private capital, noting that the Agenda 2050 estimates a total requirement of at least $100 billion, with less than 20% earmarked for public sector. And as the Port Harcourt oil refinery comes to life, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has concluded plans to hand over the government refinery to private operators. The NNPCL said it was seeking to engage reputable and credible operations and maintenance companies to operate and maintain the Port Harcourt Refining Company. He said this is to ensure reliability and sustainability towards meeting the nation's fuel supply and energy security obligation. In a publication on its website on Monday, the NNPCL said the contract scope shall cover refinery business process like long-term and short-term production and operation planning, production and operations execution, monitoring, reporting, and optimization of operations, maintenance execution, health and safety, environmental management, minor projects, and others. NNPCL requested that interested companies must demonstrate a minimum average annual turnover of at least $2 billion for the financial year ending 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively. On December 24, 2023, the federal government announced the mechanical completion of rehabilitation work on Area 5 plant of the Port Harcourt Refining Company in Rivers State. And the lingering high cost of petrol and its scarcity in Nigeria may be gradually coming to an end as the management of Dangote Petroleum Refinery has approved full registration of some oil firms and the opportunity to lift and distribute the refined product. iBrandTV Samuel Carter compiles this report.
7 major oil marketers in Nigeria have formally registered with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery for the lifting and distribution of refined petroleum product produced by the $20 billion plant. Dealers under the IGA of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria confirmed this development on Sunday that with the registration, they would commence the distribution of fuel produced from the facility once the commercial terms are sorted. While this is ongoing, Nigerians are concerned about a couple of things such as favorable price of the product and if this would bring an end to the endemic scarcity of petroleum products in the country, amongst other issues.
If we are to take the federal government by their word, it's supposed to be, I think the price that will be fair enough shouldn't be more than 200 naira. That will be fair enough. Because people have already endured for about 6 months. Now, if they put it to like 500, 600, there won't be any difference. Because the excuse they give to us is that Dangote refinery, that by the time they start the refinery, so they'll be producing it and refining it locally, then the price will come down.
Because of the recent development of Dangote coming on board and refining fuel and selling to distributors. Well, the man is a businessman anyway, and in all Dangote has been doing, he knows quite a lot of time he's enjoying a tax-free on so many things, and yet his products are still expensive. I don't expect anything better from him. But at least to Nigerians, if our government can actually regulate or put their foot down on it, well, with what's ongoing now, at least if you have it about 300, 350, at least I think it will still be okay. But I'm not really sure because Dangote has never been a friend of this country, to be realistic.
Dangote is the only refinery now that is producing. So it will be very, very difficult for us to be able to determine how much he can sell. We may not be able to decide how much he can sell because there is no competition yet. And any business person should be able to sell according to how you buy. He must have bought the oil, the crude, either from Nigerian government or from any other source by which he must have sourced his raw material. He will also incur other expenses in refining it. So that should determine how he will sell. If he has the interest of Nigerians at heart, I believe he will do something better for Nigerians.
You know, he's an investor. He has spent so much money, billions of dollars. You don't expect him to run at a loss. It will be determined by forces of market forces. Maybe 400, maybe 3 something, you know, as it is right now.
Some Nigerians welcomed the development and expressed appreciation, noting that the government has failed in its responsibility to own a refinery, while others said that the government should give such opportunities to other interested Nigerian investors. They said this would bring about competition in the business, which in the long term will bring down the current price of petroleum product to the barest minimum.
It's a welcome development. Actually, this is what I think President Jonathan was working towards then. When people started staging rally and saying people won't be able to cope if we remove the... If we had done it then, we will not be where we are now. But at least a government still rose up to do it. So I think it will benefit us. All we have to do is just endure and keep enduring and see how the whole thing unfolds.
Dangote coming on board, selling fuel, is it going to be something positive for this country? Is it going to be the same? Nigeria is full of corruption. Are you getting me? And however, we also learned that 2 other refineries are in the making. So now what it will just do, it will encourage some other people to come on board. It's coming now, we challenge some other people. In the next 1 or 2 years, you'll see other refineries coming up. And after that, there will be a kind of competition.
The government needs to give this opportunity to as many as possible. I think you have this concept of modular refinery. and government gave that to a lot of people. And the question is, how serious are they? I think so many state governments started it. So how serious are they? I think government has been given the opportunity. So we expect government to give more opportunity to more industrialists that want to go into that sector and invest.